Hey guys, it's Tim and this is Pro Wrestling Unlimited as we are here on what's the date today? The 29th, almost the end of the month of January 2019. No, it's not. It's 2020. I need to get in that groove of 2020. I keep saying 2019 still. Anyways, it's 2020. It's the 29th of January. We're here to talk AEW Dynamite. And before we do, just as always, let's see who's here with us in the live chat. So in the live chat with us, we do have, if the live chat wants to load, we've got Chris McNutt, Henry Cavallo. We've also got Jack Dawson, Woken King Slender. We've got Derek Bocek, Jonathan Powell, and so many more of you here with us tonight to talk about AEW Dynamite from Cleveland, Ohio. And I'm not going to say I didn't like the show because I thought there was a lot of good wrestling on tonight's show. Like, the matches themselves were good. But here's the thing. It was just a show. I didn't think there was anything like extra special about tonight's show. I didn't think there was anything that was like, oh man, I really need to watch next week now. I just didn't. There wasn't nothing that, I don't want to say didn't grab my attention, because like I said, there were a couple matches like Bucks and Butcher and the Blade was a fun match for what it was. And there was other things too, like the Cody and Kip Sabian match was pretty good. Scorpio Sky and Frankie Kazarian against TH2 was really fun. So there was good wrestling, but there was nothing that really like grabbed me and I was like, oh man, this was a great show, or this was really, really good this week. It was just okay. Excuse me. So as we go here, the show kicks off with, my notes just froze and went blank. Uh-oh. Give me 1 second to refresh this. There we go. That was weird. My screen went blank for a second. My Word document. Here we go. Moxley comes out and he cuts a promo. He said, Jericho's the kind of man who slams Dustin Rhodes' arm in a car door, and the kind of man who tried to take his vision by slamming a metal spike into his eye. Moxley said that he'll have to keep his good eye in the back of his head, watching his back until he takes the AEW title from Jericho on February 29th. That was kind of a redundant statement. Because if you're going to have your good eye in the back of your head watching your back, how are you going to watch your front when you've only got one good eye? Just saying. Jericho then came out, interrupted. Jericho stated, the crowd sang along with Jericho's entrance music at the beginning. So I'm thinking to myself, uh-oh, these people saw what happened on that cruise. Now every week, people are going to do this, sing Jericho's song as loud as they can to try and be the loudest building singing Jericho's song. It's going to be a thing, and it's going to hurt his heel, kind of hurt his heel persona. Jericho's a god to these people, almost more than Cody now, especially after that damn cruise. Jericho said all these fans are typical Cleveland idiots. He told Moxley that he saw Moxley's mom backstage and she was looking a little fetching. He said that he might call her later. You're a married man, bro. He said he apologized to Moxley's mom for what he did to her son, but explained that, well, it's all John's fault. Jericho then said, and just so you know, I never roll alone. Come with the Inner Circle. The Inner Circle comes out, and they've got this music that, I shit you not, sounds like the Evolution music. I swear to God, I had 3 people ask me the same thing. I had one guy in two DMs. Hey, was that just a remake of the Evolution theme? And I also had another guy shoot me a tweet that was like, I just started watching Dynamite. Does the Inner Circle song sound like the Evolution theme? I was like, sure does. So I don't know what that was all about, but we'll see. Where was I? Oh, Inner Circle comes out. Moxley goes, well, it might be 5-on-1, but it really isn't. Because it's 5 on Me and the entire arena. Moxley said he was born and raised in Ohio. Jericho said, that's fine. We got some street thugs from the Bronx, courtesy of Santana and Ortiz, to come out. So it's actually 10-on-1. And Moxley's like, 10-1? I'll take those odds. And he goes to attack. Well, first, Ortiz goes to attack him with some sort of like a axe handle. And Moxley takes him down. Moxley then jumps on the pile of all the Inner Circle and the thugs. Security and referees run down to break things up. There's a big old pull apart where Moxley does get away. He retreats through the crowd. Fun little segment for what it was. Kind of dumb. Why do you need 10 guys against Moxley? Are we supposed to think that they're really that worried about Moxley that 5 guys aren't enough? I don't know. So then they did the rundown of the show. Butcher and the Blade versus the Young Bucks. Cody versus Kip Sabian. The 6-man tag team match. Inner Circle, Private Party, Darby Allin. And also, the number 1 contender, Nyla Rose. I didn't even realize she was number 1 contender. Taking on old Big Swole. So Jim Ross throws it to a video package. He goes, you're not going to believe this one. And you see MJF and Wardlow. They go to this door and they flip a sign that says, sorry, we're closed. And they go inside and it's a slaughterhouse where the Bunny, the Butcher, and the Blade are hanging out. It's basically the Butcher's, I don't know what it's called. I know when you bake things, it's a bakery. But when you butch things, is it a butchery? I don't know. What do you call it? Chat, comments, let me know. Is it just a slaughterhouse? I don't know what you call a butcher shop? I guess that's what it would be. A butcher shop? Sinclair Saturday says kitchen. Yeah, I guess, but what is it called? Is it just called a butcher shop? Because like I said, when you bake something, it's a bakery. But I don't think when you butcher something, it's a butchery. Here's what says slaughterhouse. I think slaughterhouse, butcher shop, whatever you want to call it. So they go in here, and MJF hands the Bunny, Allie, an envelope. Looks like it's full of money. She gives it to her husband, the Blade. He turns it over and it says Young Bucks. So it looks like MJF is hiring the Butcher, the Blade, and the Bunny again as his mercenaries to take out the Young Bucks this week. Interesting. So that means that he would have gave them this money 2 weeks ago. Because last week on the cruise, we knew that this match was happening. Give me 1 second, guys, to fix something here. Why is that not working right? There we go. Okay. Sorry about that. My camera still looked like it was lagging a little bit. I think I got it fixed. Okay, so we're back. And we've got Young Bucks, Butcher, and the Blade. MJF is on commentary. He did all right on commentary. Nothing spectacular or anything. Nothing that I was like, oh man, that was super funny, or that was super good, or that was a witty line. To be honest, I kind of didn't even realize most of the time he was on commentary. So the story of this match was speed of the Bucks versus the power of the Butcher and the Blade. They also did talk about how the Blade is speedy himself, so the Bucks have to kick it up to be even faster. The Bucks hit some kicks early. They tried to stereo Kip up, but got hit with lariats. Nick was tripped on the apron by the Bunny. And then Butcher and Blade worked over Nick to get the heat. Butcher and Blade traded quick tags during an ad break. They isolated Nick in their corner. After the commercial, Butcher hit a doctor bomb for a near fall because Matt made the save. Matt got the tag and ran wild. He hit a standing slice of bread on Blade. He hit a drop kick through the ropes to Butcher. He used a top rope elbow on Blade for a 2. Nick got a tag and hit a senton for a 2 count as the Butcher saved the Blade. Butcher then Bucks hit double super kicks on Butcher. The Bucks hit the Meltzer driver on Blade and picked up the victory. Fine. Not too long. I thought it was actually almost perfectly timed out TV match, to be honest. Nothing special, but there was fun action to be seen. It didn't seem too short, and it didn't seem too long. I think this was the completely, to be honest, I thought this was like the perfect TV tag match. Almost. Like, could have been a little better. Every match could always be a little better here and there. But for what it was almost perfect. So Butcher and the Blade then attacked Matt and Nick after the match. Kenny Omega would run down to make the save and hit a V-trigger on the Blade. Hangman walked out to the ring with a beer in hand. He asked Matt, hold him a beer, and hit a buckshot lariat on the Butcher, and then chugged the beer. Omega and the Bucks celebrated in the ring while Paige walked to the back. This is already getting old. This is already stale. This is already not entertaining to me. Just saying. We then got Nyla Rose versus Big Swole. This one I felt went maybe 2 minutes too long. Just saying. The bulk of this did take place during a commercial. Oh, we'll give it that. And there was no picture-in-picture. So Nyla Rose beat on Swole and posted her right arm before the break. After the break, Swole made a comeback with a guillotine choke and his springboard cutter for a 2. Swole then tried her sunset flip, but Rose blocked it. Swole hit a flatliner. Rose hit a spear, sit-out powerbomb, picked up the victory. Even though I thought it maybe went just a tiny bit too long because it did go through that commercial and whatnot, there still wasn't much to talk about because most of it was in a commercial without a picture-in-picture. Then we got Cody versus Kip Sabian. Cody stated in, I think it was the Road 2 video, that this match is a match that he's wanted for years, ever since Christopher Daniels was working backstage in ROH and was trying to recruit Kip Sabian to Ring of Honor. So Sabian early hits a shotgun drop kick at the opening bell, then a gut buster. He just goes for Cody right on, which was actually good. You know, the commentary made it seem like, you know, Cody's got Arn Anderson in his corner. He's always going to be giving him tips. So while Cody's distracted by that, take the advantage. Cody did come back pretty quickly, though, with some right-hand shots. Cody hit a drop kick. Sabian rolled to the outside and started jawing with Anderson. They brawled to the on the outside. And Cody then accidentally back elbowed Penelope Ford. And she sold it, took a bump as if she was just knocked out, like completely. So Cody goes to check on her. And the referee's just yelling at him, leave her alone, basically. Like, she's not your problem. It was weird because the referee was telling Cody to leave her alone, it seemed like. And what does Cody do? Cody literally picks her up. What? Why is Cody picking her up? He's got to be the white knight? Her boyfriend's literally standing on the other side of you. He should be checking on her. Not you. You should be like, oh my God, I'm sorry, and then get in the ring. Let him handle it. But anyways. Surprise, old Arn wasn't like, leave her be. Leave her be. You need to focus on him. And as this was all going on, Sabian hit a running kick from the apron. Ford then just popped up because she was perfectly fine. During a commercial break, Sabian sold as though his knee went out as Cody started making a comeback. The ringside doctor examined him. Sabian was about to connect with a springboard DDT when the picture-in-picture just cut away. So what happens next during the break? I'm not sure. After the break, Cody hit a lariat, some punches in the corner, and a power slam. Cody took off his weight belt, but Ford grabbed it away from him. Cody hit Sabian with a disaster kick. Ford then threw one of her shoes into the ring, causing a brief distraction. Cody made a cover. Sabian kicks out. Arn Anderson then climbed in, and he climbed to the ring to protest. He threw Ford's shoe into the crowd. Somebody got a really, really nice souvenir tonight. Anderson bumped the ref, who ejected him. Ford then hit a flying head scissors off the steps to Cody. Sabian followed with a tope con Grillo. Sabian and Ford tried to kiss near the guardrail, but Joey Janela would jump out of a seat and snuck his face in between them. Cody used this distraction to hit a tope suicida. Cody teased a slingshot back into the ring, but Sabian cut him off and hit a neck breaker for a near fall. Sabian tried a superplex, but Cody blocked it, and Sabian hit a springboard bulldog. Sabian then tried a deathly hollows. Cody blocked it and hit a Cody cutter. Cody then hit the crossroads for the pin. 1, 2, 3. Cody picks up the victory. Wasn't a big fan of the Joey Janela stuff in the middle. Everything else I thought was really good. Other than, why did Cody have to go try and save Penelope? That and the match itself, the in-ring action, I thought was really good between these two. I think Kip Sabian and Cody worked very well together in this match. Like, their chemistry was great. And then something that wasn't so great. They replayed the Britt Baker, Tony Schiavone segment from last week. Tony's up on the stage, ready to interview Britt Baker. He says, "I'm here with Britt." And she goes, "No, Tony. It's Dr. Britt Baker. Dr. Britt Baker." Baker said, "She was the star of last week's show. They were trending worldwide." Well, I was trending worldwide. You just held the microphone. She said, she called him Mr. Starbucks and said, judging from the stench of his gums, he has gum disease. She told him, pick up a toothbrush. Baker then looked over at Jim Ross and she goes, "Jim Ross, JR, you need to stay out of my business. Don't ever cut me off again. Don't ever speak when I'm speaking. Just stay over there and collect your huge paycheck. We're doing nothing. We're in the ring, busting our butts every single week. And you just sit there and collect that check." She said, and I know you know I'm a dentist, because that's all you ever say when I'm in the ring is that I'm a dentist. And I'm like, what the fuck is this leading to? Starts taking more jabs at Jim Ross and his commentary. She said, "You're probably just jealous of us new age or new era wrestlers or whatever. You're stuck in the back." And then she goes, "You know who else probably has bad teeth? Our champion, Riho." She then told the people of Cleveland they finally have a Baker, making fun of Baker Mayfield, that they can believe in. Okay, then. I get where they're going with it. They're trying to make her this heel that everybody hates, so she's going to berate the people that they love, hence Jim Ross. But it's not coming off in a good way. It's just not. Jim Ross then throws it to our newest AEW broadcast partner, Lexi, who's actually the daughter of Diamond Dallas Page. He was interviewing the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega. Matt and Nick put over their big win. Page would then stumble in. Hangman Page, that is. Not her father, Diamond Dallas Page. Hangman Page would stumble in with a beer in his hand, and he goes, "Hey, look, I put my nameplate on my belt. But don't worry, I got a present for you. Here's 2 nameplates. Look, it says Nick Jackson on it." Starts rubbing it in that him and Omega have titles and the Bucks don't. Omega said, don't worry about him. You guys will be champs eventually, soon enough. But we got bigger things next week. It's the 4 of us. We're teaming up an 8-man competition against the Butcher and the Blade and another team, which we learn is the Lucha Bros. And that was about it. Just more drunk Page. Cool. They send it back to the ring where SCU is coming out wearing Kobe Bryant jerseys. Rest in peace. Kazarian and Sky teamed up to take on Jack Evans and Angelico. So it's SCU versus TH2. And can somebody in the live chat or the comments let me know what TH2 stands for? I'm not really sure what TH2 is, because none of their initials are TH. I get there's 2 of them, but what are the T and the H? I think it's, wait, I remember now. Scratch that. Don't need your comments. Well, I mean, I love comments, but I don't need this one. I remember now. It's the hybrid 2. Yep. As I say it, all the comments are coming in now. The hybrid 2. As I tried to dissect it. Oh, sorry. I punched my microphone. As I tried to dissect it, it came to me. Thank you guys, though, for your comments in the live chat. So Kazarian and Sky grounded Angelico early, working him over with suplexes and chin locks. Sky hit a double stomp to the back of Evans. Kazarian hit a release German on Evans. Evans and Angelico cut off Sky. Evans hit a kick for a 2. Angelico hit a PK for another 2 count. TH2 continued working over Scorpio Sky as we went into a commercial break and through the entire break mostly. Sky and Evans traded strikes. Sky hit a suplex, then made a lukewarm tag to Kazarian. Kazarian hit a dropkick on Angelico, a hip toss on Evans, and a cutter on Angelico. He went for the cover, but Evans broke it up. Evans hit a slingshot double stomp to Kazarian. Evans missed a space flying tiger drop. Kazarian hit Sky with an SCU later, Kazarian and Sky hit an SCU later on Angelico, and Sky pinned him for the victory. I thought this match was actually pretty fun. I thought these guys worked really well together. So then we got a Dark Order video interrupting SCU post-match. Uno said the Exalted One is mad at Christopher Daniels for turning them down and has ordered the Dark Order to target his friends in SCU. Grayson then said that he doesn't care who they are at first. Okay. A very interesting Pac video then played. Pac said that maybe he'll go after Moxley if Moxley wins the title. Then he calls out Omega. He says, Kenny, you're finally hearing me. You're finally listening. Then he starts like almost dying, hacking. He's like, he just spits. Like he's got this phlegm ball stuck in his throat and they didn't cut it. They didn't edit it off. I didn't get that at all. He said from now on, everyone's going to do things on Pac's timetable. He said he's coming after Omega next week. So he's going to interrupt the 8-man tag? I don't know. We then learned a couple other matches for next week. John Moxley will be taking on Ortiz. Britt Baker, or should I say Dr. Baker, will be taking on Yuka Sakazaki in her first match on Dynamite. And then we got the Young Bucks, Omega and Page, taking on the team of the Butcher, the Blade, and Lucha Bros. And also next week, Cody getting his 10 lashes from MJF in Huntsville, Alabama. Also, speaking of next week, I got a little info for you. I got this press release from, I guess you could say, Conrad Thompson's people. If you're in Huntsville, Alabama next week and you want to go to Dynamite, cool, go to Dynamite. But after Dynamite, immediately following the tapings for Dynamite, Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone, and Conrad Thompson are going to be doing a live show for the people in Huntsville. They're going to be at the Stand Up Live in Huntsville, Alabama. Again, like I said, it's going to start basically immediately after the Dynamite tapings. And they say not only are both JR and Tony icons in wrestling, but lucky for us, they're two of the most entertaining storytellers in the business as well. Taking our podcast live in this kind of a format gives the opportunity to these men to be fully open and let it rip. JR is a gold standard when it comes to announcing, signing talent, and developing stars, as Tony is one of the voices of wrestling and the voices of a generation. So if you guys are in the Huntsville, Alabama area next week, you guys can go to a live, I guess you could say, talk. I've never been to one of these. I guess it would be kind of like the same stuff they do at StarCast, which I have been to, where you guys are just going to tell stories. So if you're in Huntsville, go check that out. They're going to be live at, it's called Stand Up Live. Tickets start at $35. So then we go into our main event match, which is Chris Jericho, Santana, and Ortiz taking on Darby Allin and the Private Party. So Allin and Jericho began the match. Allin hit a springboard arm drag, so Jericho begged off. Ortiz and Cassidy entered next. Quinn tagged in for a double team spot. He then got cut off by Jericho, Ortiz, and Santana. They all just worked him over in their corner. Cassidy got the tag and used some amateur wrestling moves with a crucifix on Ortiz for a near fall. Jericho tagged in and hit a missile dropkick. Cassidy flew to the floor. where Santana hit a suplex. During a commercial break, the Inner Circle passed Cassidy around in vertical suplex positions before Jericho completed the move. Santana and Ortiz hit an assisted senton. Jericho hit a lion salt, and Ortiz hit a pencil splash, like a standing pencil splash, I guess you can call it, for a near fall. Cassidy finally managed to get the hot tag to Allin. Allin hit a dive to Jericho, then hit a destroyer on Santana. The match would then break down here. Cassidy hit a crucifix bomb on Ortiz. Quinn hit a pop-up kick to Jericho. Allin hit Jericho with his own Cabrada for a near fall, then hit a coffin drop off the post to Jake Hager on the floor. Cassidy got a tag and hit a senton on Tomoko on Jericho for a 2. Jericho reversed an Irish whip into a Judas effect on Isaiah Cassidy, knocked him out, pinned him. Le Champion picks up the victory. Fun main event. Afterwards, all 5 members of the Inner Circle attacked Private Party and Darby Allin. Don't know what happened to their Bronx Street Thugs, though. Would have thought that when there's more guys involved here, those Street Thugs would have come in handy, even though they thought Moxley as 1 was more threatening than these guys at 3. Just saying. They tossed Private Party out of the ring and they went after Darby Allin. They grabbed his skateboard and they rammed it into his throat. Moxley would then come out to make the save with the baseball bat. Hager, Guevara, Santana, and Ortiz all 8 bat shots, but Jericho escaped. Moxley stood on the ropes, pointing the bat at the Inner Circle, basically pretending that he's Sting. And that's how the show goes off the air. He's got the bat pointed out like he's old Stinger. And it's over. Goes off the air. Next week we go to Huntsville, Alabama. We know of 3 matches in 1 segment. I wouldn't say I'm interested for the show itself, because after tonight's show, it was just a show. But I am actually very intrigued to see how this lashings segment goes. Like, I am very intrigued to see how they pull this off with Cody taking 10 lashings from MJF. So that is one thing that I am actually looking forward to next week. But with that, we got some text messages. And we're going to be taking calls. So if you guys want to call in and give me your thoughts on tonight's show, you can do so at 510-906-1341. Again, that number is 510-906-1341. Looking here at the text messages, got 2 of them so far. This person says, if it'll load, because these text messages never want to load up. Why don't they just move the Hall of Fame to another of the big 5 pay-per-views? Because everybody's already in town for WrestleMania. WrestleMania is the big show. WrestleMania is the big night. WrestleMania is everybody comes in town. You've already got every wrestler on your roster basically there, whether they're not working or they're doing access. Oops, sorry about that. You've got a bunch of legends already in town working access. So it just makes a lot of sense to do the Hall of Fame Mania weekend. It's your biggest weekend of the year. It's your Super Bowl. It makes sense. I don't see why you need to move it. This person here to say, did you see the vignette tonight on NXT? Who do you think it's pertaining to? Is it Killer Cross? Is it the Velveteen Dream, or is it somebody else? So I did see this vignette that you're referencing. I actually tweeted it out. I don't know what it's for. I believe it's some sort of tease for next week on NXT. I'm not going to get too much into this because we're not talking NXT. But I guess this isn't really a spoiler for tonight's NXT. A video package played where, you know what? Hold on. I'm going to pull it up because it's a little easier to show you than to actually try to describe it. Because there's these, well, I guess I can describe it. No, I don't need to pull it up. So there are these numbers, these circles, these different circles, and on the screen, one circle pops up and it's got a 5 in it. Another one pops up, it's got a 20. Another one pops up, it's got a 2. Well, next week is the 5th of February, 2/5/2020. So I believe this is a vignette teasing something for next week on NXT. I don't know if it's the Velveteen Dream's coming back. I don't know if maybe Killer Cross is making his debut or if somebody else is coming. I don't know what it's pertaining to. But I did see that, and that's really not a spoiler for anything that happened on tonight's show. But with that, we did have a call coming in, but it looks like it's not anymore. If you guys want to call in and give me your thoughts on tonight's AEW Dynamite, you can do so at 510-906-1341. Got a couple of you asking, is Velveteen Dream cleared? I don't know per se, other than I have been told that he has been working out at the PC. But let's take this call, if it wants to go. Caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
Hi, Kim. I feel like tonight's show was a mess show because it's the same thing every Wednesday. Nothing new to me, but I feel like they should work on with a better storyline and a better women's division. Like,
I wouldn't say that the show was a mess, because I actually liked a lot of the matches themselves. But, and as far as the women's stuff, I mean, the Britt Baker thing's the Britt Baker thing. I thought the Nyla Jax, not Nia Jax, my bad. They're kind of similar. So now I can't even remember her name all of a sudden. The Big Swole and the Big Swole match. I forget her opponent all of a sudden. It's just my mind went blank. I thought that match was okay. I didn't think there was anything wrong with the match. So Nyla Rose, that's her name. So I mean, yeah, the women's matches are usually not that good, but I thought this one was a little better than most that they put on. So I wouldn't say the show was bad tonight. I would just say that there was nothing special. Nothing that was like, ooh, I want to see how that progresses next week. There's a storyline for next week that I'm interested in, but nothing that happened tonight going into next week has me like, I need to see that.
and one more thing I would let you know. Have you seen a new photo of Brandy Rose like lay down in a Derby?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I want to thank you for the call. What she's talking about is on this week's Road 2 video, they did a thing where Brandy Rhodes was in therapy. So Brandy Rhodes went to therapy. She was talking about the Nightmare Collective and how the Nightmare Collective has consumed her and this and that. And the therapist said, it's all in your mind. And Brandy goes, you know what? Maybe it is. I think I've been healed. And then instead of her wearing her Nightmare Collective dress and hat and things, all of a sudden she's wearing a Nightmare Family tracksuit. But the interesting thing here is when she's back in the tracksuit and she says, I've been healed. You look over where the therapist was sitting, it's a stuffed animal. So I don't know what that's alluding to. We didn't get any Nightmare Collective tonight. I know why we didn't get Nightmare Collective last week, because Brandy wasn't on the boat. But we'll see. Maybe they just took a week off from it. Maybe we'll get more Nightmare Collective next week. But yeah, Sinclair Saturday. Basically, we're supposed to think that Brandy had a revelation as far as she's no longer going to be Nightmare Collective Brandy. But then we're also supposed to think she's crazy, loco, cuckoo in the head because she was talking to a stuffed animal the whole time. I'm looking here at the text messages. Got another one coming in here. Let's load that one up. This one says, do you think they're going to do the 10 lashes, but before they actually get to 10, Cody's going to say, screw this, and take the whatever they're using, like the belt or whatnot, for the lashes, and hit MJF with it? You know, I thought about some way of they get like halfway through and then it doesn't get finished. But then the match at Revolution doesn't happen, because I think the thing was, if you don't take these 10 lashes, I don't give you the match. So I think he's got to take them. Cody likes to punishment. Cody likes to look like, oh, hey, beat my ass. I don't care. I can take the pain. Like, apparently he was happy when he busted himself open against Jericho. So we'll see. But if nobody else wants to call or text in, we will wrap things up. I do want to say thank you guys for joining me here to talk about tonight's AEW Dynamite. I will try to get the NXT review up tomorrow. If not tomorrow, then first thing Friday morning. Also Friday morning, we'll have a new episode of the Wrestling Wrap-Up. Not sure if I'm taking that solo or if I'm getting a guest host for that. Gonna be trying to get a guest host for that show. But either way, we will have a new live episode roughly around 10 a.m. Pacific Friday of the Wrestling Wrap-Up. Just a, I guess you could say, wrap-up of all the news from this week. So with that, thank you guys for joining me here to talk about AEW Dynamite. Thank you guys for joining me later right here on YouTube or listening on podcast services all around the world. We'll see you guys later. Have a good night.